Joe Rogan didn't just call out Jimmy Kimmel, he obliterated him, verbally tossing him around like a heavyweight in a sparring match against padded walls. But here's the twist. It's all happening inside a giant, tofu-walled echo chamber. Rogan's swinging with full force, haymakers flying, yet somehow still confined in this artisanal, kale-scented bubble of curated leftist thought, where every punch lands, but only ricochets back.
It's like he's in this leftist thought bubble. He's in the most leftist thought bubble available, which is Hollywood.
We've all watched the late-night landscape shift from once being the home of quick-witted comics to resembling a politically correct lecture, lightly sprinkled with kin laughter. And Joe, he didn't just throw shade. He launched a full-scale, comedic dropkick straight through the FOD, the kind of blow you'd expect if the entire act had borrowed cash and skipped town.
To be that show guy, he has to be a different guy.
That's why today, we're plunging headfirst into the heart of the madness. No life jacket, no seatbelt, not even a brace for impact warning. Just unfiltered, unapologetic chaos coming at you full speed. So strap on a helmet, maybe some emotional armor, and grab your favorite snack, because you're about to be served a 5-course feast of scorching hot takes, seasoned with zero chill and a dash of delightful danger.
You know, the Elon Musk joking around about my pronouns are prosecute Fauci. Jimmy Kimmel made a tweet back to him. He said, your pronouns are in a hole, which is pretty funny. But then,
Did he really?
Yes. And so then I read that, and there was people saying, please don't joke about pronouns.
Do you think that's him or a writer? Can't tell.
Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah.
No, it's him, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
good. That's a good one.
He's a comic.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, he used to host The Man Show. I mean, he's done some pretty outrageous back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, for hee-hees and haw-haws.
No, that's a good joke on top of a good joke.
Yeah.
Can you even wrap your head around it? A guy goes from hosting The Man Show, basically a beer-soaked altar, to cheap laughs, frat house humor, and jiggly slow-motion intros to suddenly positioning himself as Captain Morality, standing on a digital soapbox like the Dalai Lama with a high-speed internet connection. This is the same man who once considered blackface sketches and N-word karaoke as the comedic summit. Fast forward a couple of decades, and he's undergone a rebrand. So dramatic, it's like watching a mall store scrub its name off the sign after a PR disaster. Naturally, when those old VHS-era clips resurfaced, the apology statements rolled out polished, contrite, and carefully worded. But here's the real question that keeps your brain pacing the room. Is this an authentic evolution? A man genuinely transformed? Or is it Jimmy performing his most convincing role yet a moral chameleon, changing colors to match whatever cultural wallpaper will keep him safest from the flaming arrows of Twitter outrage? That's exactly the nerve Joe went straight for when he said this.
Late night talk show for, I guess, kind of my generation was the thing that everybody wanted. Kimmel and Fallon and all these guys, like, you got to host the Tonight Show, or Jimmy Kimmel's got his own show. You got your own show. You got the Letterman show. You got the this show, the that show. That was the thing, man.
Right.
If you could get your own show like that, like, you were fucking in. If they offered it to you, you took it. You took it. But then to be that show guy, he has to be a different guy. So now he's not. Colbert from the show was this genius parody. Now he's just Stephen Colbert.
Right.
That's who he is.
They destroyed the essence.
Well,
by
Exactly. Here's the thing, late night shows aren't just playgrounds for punchlines. They're slick, high-stakes ad delivery systems wearing the mask of comedy. The hosts? They're not simply telling jokes, they're finely tailored, suit-wearing spokesmodels for an entire network's brand strategy. Their unspoken mission is clear: be funny, but not too funny, edgy, but only in that approved by oat milk sort of way. And above all, never rattle the advertisers, the ones who keep the lights on faster than you can say skip ad. That means these hosts have to contort themselves into a snug, pre-approved mold, one that screams safe, sellable, and comfortably aligned with whatever Hollywood is spoon-feeding the masses that week. Take Jimmy Kimmel, for example. Back in the Man Show days, when bro humor and beer-soaked banter ruled the cultural waves, he rode that tide like a surfer in mirrored sunglasses. But the moment the cultural current shifted, and woke became the new social currency, Jimmy rebranded with the speed of a YouTuber scrubbing their channel after a scandal. He even jumped aboard the anti-Trump express with such force. You'd think he dented the caboose only to discover, ironically, that it came at the cost of tanking his own ratings. When late-night shows went all in on politics in 2016, it was like they collectively grabbed the mic and shouted, "Who's ready to alienate half the audience?" And surprise, surprise, the ratings sank faster than a lead balloon at a gravity convention. One by one, the hosts started jumping ship like rats abandoning a cruise liner that had swapped the open bar for a lecture hall. Conan tossed the old-school desk and couch format overboard. James Corden pieced out, his carpool karaoke mic still warm from its last duet. Trevor Noah moonwalked off set with a grin that said, "I'm getting out at the right time." And honestly, those exits are aging like top-shelf bourbon in a world of boxed wine entertainment. Why? Because podcasts came crashing onto the scene like a wrecking ball, only with better lighting, higher sound quality, and, most importantly, zero network censorship. They took the best part of late-night genuine, free-flowing conversation and stripped away the filler. No more 5-minute promo interviews where the guest insists working with the cast was pure magic while their soul quietly screams. No awkward sketches, no forced laughter over whoopee cushion gags, just raw talk. In real time, that unfiltered pull-up-a-chair vibe, that's the magic ingredient that keeps people hitting next episode like muscle memory.
There's not a chance in hell that this is funny or gonna work. And when you see those flat, corny, late-night monologue jokes with no audience, Colbert, there's Jimmy Kimmel, there's Fallon. What they're doing is just like reading off of a teleprompter. So a bunch of really good joke writers wrote them some stuff, and then they're playing to the audience, and the audience is like laughing, so they get this feedback, and they know how to do that. They stand there, and there's applause signs, and then there's producers. There's the warm-up guy that's literally telling people to clap. They're like, okay, explaining to the people, okay, when Jimmy comes out, I want a big round of applause. Let's practice this right now.
Look, I get it, half of you are already nodding along with Joe's take like, yeah, no kidding, Captain Obvious. But hearing it laid out still drives home just how absurdly fake these shows have become. It's like watching a sitcom storyboarded by a committee of PR interns armed with corporate buzzwords and an Excel sheet labeled approved humor. Everything feels so prepackaged you'd swear it came shrink-wrapped straight from a network assembly line, from the carefully massaged talking points to the so-called off-the-cuff jokes, each one rehearsed harder than a Broadway musical's opening number. It's comedy with GPS directions, every punchline preloaded and emotionally sponsored. And sure, we've moved past the days of literal can laugh tracks like some 90s rerun, but the stiffness remains. Think about it when you have to rely on a massive, glowing applause sign to coax the room into clapping. That's not organic entertainment. That's crowd control with a punchline. It's not about making people laugh because they can't help it. It's about choreographing their reactions, turning the audience into a synchronized clapping cult, programmed to respond exactly on cue.
You do a talk show?
No, I'm doing one right now with Kyle Dunnigan. He's my guest.
Why would I do that?
It doesn't seem like a good way to talk to people. It doesn't seem like it's fun. It seems like it's too much pressure. It seems like there's too many people. It seems like the conversations become fake because you have 5 minutes until you cut to commercial, and they come over with cards, and the executive wants to talk to you, and the producers want to get in your ear, and we just feel like it just needs a little levity. You just need a little levity. So we're gonna bring the jester out. Oh, I'm tired of the jester. I don't like the jester, and the jester comes out with his little, and everybody goes, the jester's here.
He's absolutely right. This clip, it's from way back in 2018, and even then, Joe Rogan was pulling numbers that could make Kimmel or Colbert weep into their cue cards. We're talking Nielsen ratings so brutal for late-night hosts they might as well have been watching a horror movie where the monster is their own audience graph, But forget the stats for a second. Rogan wasn't just winning in views, he was producing conversations that actually meant something. Real talk, real guests, real beards thick enough to store snacks in. His lineup pulled from every corner of the human experience: scientists unpacking black holes, comedians swapping road stories, conspiracy theorists connecting dots no one else dared to, maybe even astronauts discussing how to sneeze in zero gravity. And crucially, it wasn't just the same recycled roster of Hollywood insiders who all think the same way. Meanwhile, late-night couches have turned into ideological VIP lounges, where everyone nods in perfect sync like they're part of some overly caffeinated cult with a network budget. That's the real game changer. It's not about who can land the funniest punchline, but who's willing to actually hear something different without cutting to a commercial the moment it gets uncomfortable.